Oh, it's May. Still kind of cold, windy, rainy. It sucks. Pennsylvania weather is beautiful. Anyway, got an antique or vintage, whatever you want to call it. It's old hay fluffer, John Deere hay fluffer. I was trying to sell this thing, and one person was supposed to come and backed out, and now it's just sat here. And I've kind of gotten to the point where, you know, even if I don't ever use it for that again, it does have a lot of good components on here, you know, metal and whatnot, and this tube, you know, that I could use it for something else. So kind of what I have thought of today is using this tongue for the produce wagon, because I was up there at my mom and dad's when I was building this, and I was thinking, how am I going to hook this to a four-wheeler, a tractor, anything like that? And I didn't really have any good solution for that, because they're just, I couldn't think of anything. And then I just happened to come by this the one day and seen this here, and, you know, figured nobody's going to buy this thing, so I might as well, you know, might as well make it useful. And it's just looks like 2 bolts if they come loose, which even if they break, not a huge deal. Pop this off and somehow mount it to the frame up there, and boom, you know, we got a tongue. The more I think about it and the more I look at it, the more usable material that is on here. The whole part, you know, with the tines on it, that could be used as an axle down the road if I decide to. I have to get all them things off of there, which could be a chore, but regardless, this thing has a lot of usable material and a lot of life, maybe for something else. Maybe not as a hay fluffer anymore, but something else. So my biggest goal for today, as far as the produce wagon goes, it's kind of trying to rain a little bit, but the sky looks kind of semi-clear coming to us, sort of. So my biggest goal today is to try and mount this tongue somehow, and also mount the wheels and the tires up there, and try and get those mounted, and also get the rest of the framing done, everything welded completely, get it solid, and then we can bring it down here, maybe start building on it. That's a goal. I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but we'll see how it goes. I was not expecting that to go that easy. Huh. I managed to finally get our overall length here. So we're about 8 feet from end to end. And I just have those tacked right now. And I need to basically add in the kind of the cross member pieces, and we're also going to add pieces in the center too. Now I do have a bunch more straight pieces here, and we can cut out of that seat too, that we can, you know, use those pieces to go for our cross members yet, because I think I'm going about every foot or something like that, because ultimately this is going to be, you know, at the end of the day, 8 feet long, and it's going to have seams because of where our weld spots are, and I will weld all the way around those once we get everything, you know, tacked fast. But I don't want to have this something where it's going to be flimsy and want to like flex and everything, so we got to kind of put our wheels and weld those fast kind of where they have to be, and that way it's kind of balanced. So obviously the end with the tongue is actually, I mean, this thing is probably 3, might even be 4 feet long, so that's going to be hanging out an extra, you know, however far, but it's going to hold the weight, I think, on this side. So again, more development that has to be done, but the overall length and everything is up pretty good. So I'll get some cross members cut for that, and we'll keep rolling. So quick overview of where I'm at here. I managed to get all the cross member pieces in. So that's a huge plus. And I think at this point, I know I obviously want to put, I probably wouldn't have to put center braces in between, like kind of like that one there, and go the whole length. I'm sure I wouldn't have to, but I feel like it would just kind of, you know, help sturdy things up a little bit. So I may end up doing that, but I think for the time being, I'm gonna just try and, you know, weld everything a lot better than what it is. And I don't know if I can really flip it over yet, but I got to get the wheels, well, at least the spindle or the axle parts mounted on there too. It's all completely welded the whole way across, and I actually welded, I think, more than, you know, what they would have or what they did. They just did kind of around the sides. I tried to weld around the whole entire thing, but it turned out for the most part pretty good, and it should be really solid too. So there shouldn't be any issue. I don't really think, you know, the more I look at it, I don't think I need to put those center supports in, because it does have, you know, think of it like a wall. When you're building a wall, you don't put supports that way really. So I think it's going to be fine, especially once we get, I think I'm going to put plywood on there. I think once that's on there, it should be totally fine. The other thing that I got to do is flip it back over and see. I don't know if we're going to get to it. I would really like to. I don't think the tongue can go on yet. I got to figure something out about that, because I really don't know exactly what I'm doing with that. But it would be nice if we could get the wheels, or basically the little axle parts, if we could get those mounted on here. That would really be beneficial. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but here is my theory. Because of the way that this is designed, and here's the old one, this pivots. I don't want it pivoting. I want it to be straight out. I thought about welding these on somehow, trying to tighten this, and it just seemed kind of like more of a pain than anything. Could probably put washers between there. But what I came up with is, I feel like if I just sit this right here and run a bolt down through with a nut, however, it doesn't really matter, whichever way works better, but run a bolt down through, tighten it up, and then what I can do is I can throw a little tack weld, kind of weld it around the outside. I mean, ultimately this stuff is pretty rigid. It's not like super thick, but it's also not super thin either. So I don't know. Hopefully that kind of works. And I got to stay out so far because of the way the tire sticks out. So I'm kind of limited with what options I have, unless I'm going to completely make something different. And I really don't want to do that, because we have a perfect length axle for each side. We got tires, the wheels, you know, everything's going to work and match up perfectly. You know, it should be fine. Now, really, I don't know. I did that 4 feet, so that's halfway between. I don't know if I should have had it back there, had the wheels back there further, like maybe back in here, and then have like a jack with the tongue, because the way the tongue is going to be ultimately, now this, keep in mind, this is upside down right now, so this would actually be like that. So roughly something like that. So that tongue is going to be way out there, and the tires, I mean, I could put a jack or something maybe up there. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should move that hole back and put the tires, the wheels and tires back further. I don't know. Here's what I've come up with. There's a lot of weight still hanging on that, so I think I'm going to move that back here. So pushing the wheel on fully, it's going to rub the frame. So I can't do it that way. I got to do something else here, figure something else out. Maybe put a piece of square stock out and then drill it that way. But this ain't gonna work. Either way, we got some thinking to do and probably try and reconfigure some things here. That's gonna do it for today's video. Wish we would have got more done. But that's all kind of the process. Takes time. It's coming. We're getting there. But we just got to figure some of this other stuff out. Once we do that, we're getting close. We're getting close to being able to put wood on here. And I'm excited because I really want to get this thing out, you know, so we can get moving. Have a great day. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.